I'm going to be teaching a Fitball strength class. I really encourage you throughout this video to stop and pause at any moment to examine your form, to take a drink if you need to, or to pause it to catch your breath. Okay, so with that brief introduction out of the way, we're going to jump right into the warm-up. For this class, we're going to need a Fitball, some free weights. The free weights are actually optional. You can do all of the exercises without them if you choose. And then you'll need a nice solid wall, so not a door or anything like that that could open on you. Okay, let's start with the warm-up. So our first exercise, we're going to hold the ball right out in front of us, and we're just going to twist. While we're doing this, make sure we're twisting at the back, not at our hips, really warming up our whole spine, especially that lumbar region. Make sure also while you're doing this that you're not at any point locking out your knees, because that can be a really dangerous thing to do while you're exercising, okay? The next exercise we're going to do is it's going to be a 45-degree lunge. So instead of going straight out to the side or straight out in front of you, you want to find that nice happy medium and do a nice 45-degree lunge. While you do this, you will extend the ball out with you, and when you come back in, you'll bring the ball back in with you. Okay, and go. Again, make sure while you're doing this, you're not allowing that knee to come over your toe, because that can be very dangerous, especially for your ACL. Awesome, you're doing great. And we're at 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Okay, for our next exercise, we're going to be doing a squat. As we go down in our squat, the ball will stay straight in front of us, and as we move through it, we'll push the ball up over our head. Okay, ready, and go. Again, some brief safety while we're doing this. Make sure that your knees aren't going over your toes and that they're not coming inside of your toes either, because that can be very dangerous. Awesome. Doing great. Make sure we're breathing through all of these exercises. Okay. Last one. Great job. Okay, our next one is just going to be some brief high knees. Again, just like we did with the lunges, as you extend your knee up, you will be extending the ball out and bringing it back in as you bring your knees together. Ready, and go. As you're doing this, make sure you're not bringing your knees past the point of discomfort. You really want to be going for a nice stretch right now, getting your blood moving. We're not going for strength or speed right now. We're just doing a quick warm-up. Awesome. And our last 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Okay, that's for our lower body movements. Now we're going to continue with our shoulders in particular. So for this next exercise, again, your feet will be shoulder width apart, and you will move the ball up above your head. As you do this, you want to be contracting your shoulders, just giving it a bit of a squeeze. Okay, ready, and go. As mentioned previously, while you're doing this one, make sure you're not locking out your knees. You gotta let that blood flow through your whole body. Awesome, you're doing great. And we're at 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Okay, this will be our last arms focused one. We're just gonna do 30 seconds of moving the ball in a figure 8. Just like that. Ready, and go. Doing great. See how much of our shoulders we can get involved in this. Again, trying to loosen up all of those muscles in that upper body. Okay, We're at 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Okay, this last one is really just to get our heart rates up. We're going to be doing a jumping jack, but instead of doing our arms out like you would normally do, our arms are going to go straight up with the ball. Okay, ready, and go. And 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Okay, that's the warm-up. I would encourage you here to grab a brief drink and catch your breath if you need to. We will be moving into the workout portion part of this, so make sure that you have your free weights close if you're going to be using them. Okay, let's jump right into it. Our first exercise is the one we will be needing the wall for. So it's going to be a lunge with your back up against the wall. The easiest way I found to get into this one is have the ball in your hands, roll it around your back, and then lean up against the wall. We're going to be doing 15 of these. Ready, and go. Awesome. Keep in mind, as I was talking about earlier in the warm-up, keeping those knees in a proper position out in front of you. If you're looking for a higher intensity, you can always go a little bit slower on the downward phase of this exercise. That way that you're having a controlled eccentric and concentric movement. Awesome, we're at 5, 4, 3, 2, and last one. Awesome, great job. For our next exercise, we're going to be sitting down onto the ball. For this, whenever we're on the ball, we want to make sure that we're at a good balancing point. You want to have a nice base of support because you don't want to fall forwards and you don't want to fall backwards or sideways. So make sure whenever you're on the ball, you're feeling very comfortable. Okay, for this first exercise, we're just going to get acquainted with the ball a little bit. We're going to do 15 calf raisers. So that you'll just lift your calves up just like this and contract them. Ready, set, and go. One of the great benefits of being on a Fitball is that while you're doing everything, you should be engaging your core. So whenever we're sitting on the ball, make sure you're thinking about your posture and engaging that core like I said. And we're at 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Okay, for our next exercise, you can choose to grab one of the weights if you want to. We're going to be doing tricep extensions. So you will bring your arms straight up and then let them fall behind your head. Again, if you're not comfortable with this, you can always do it without a weight. We will be doing 15 of these. And go. Make sure while we're doing all of these exercises that we're breathing. And if you would like to increase the intensity, as I had mentioned earlier, you can always slow down the movement. And we're at 5, 4, 3, 2, and last one. Awesome. Again, if you would like to do a higher intensity version of this next exercise, you can pick up both of the free weights. I will not be. So for this next exercise, you'll start with your arms next to your sides, and you will just be raising them straight up. Really focusing on those shoulders, okay? Again, we'll be doing 15 of these. Ready, set, and go. Doing great. Again, keep an eye on your posture as you're going through all of these. If you find your ears or your shoulders coming up to your ears, try and relax a little bit. Let them come down. We don't need to have that much stress in our body. And we are at 3, 2, and last one. Awesome. Okay, For the next exercise we're going to be doing, we're actually going to be coming onto our stomach with the ball. Again, for a higher intensity version of this workout, you can choose to grab both of your free weights. I, again, will not be. To get into this position, what you'll be doing is you'll roll onto the ball on your stomach like this, have your feet out behind you, and you're going to lean onto the ball, have your arms come down to the ground, and then come straight out. Okay, just like that, and we're going to be doing 15 of these again. Ready, set, and go. While you're doing this, try and see if you can bring your shoulder blades together. Think of it more of a trapezius workout than a shoulder workout. See if you can really get that activation in that upper back. You're doing great. Okay, we are at 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Okay, for our next workout or exercise, we'll be moving forward onto our stomach and hands just like this. It's going to be a decline push-up. Again, we will be doing 15 of these. If you would like to increase the intensity of this exercise, you can always roll the ball further away from your hips, and to decrease the intensity, you'll roll it towards your hips. As I said, we'll be doing 15 of these. Ready, and go. Make sure while you're doing this exercise that you're really focusing on good form and posture. Try and keep a nice flat back while you're doing this. You're doing great. We're about halfway there. Okay. And we're at 5, 4, 3, 2, and last one. Okay, go ahead and roll back onto your feet. The next exercise we'll be doing, we're going to be focusing on our lower back. So it's going to be a reverse crunch. So go ahead and roll back onto the Fitball as you had done for the previous workout, and put your hands behind your head like you would be doing a crunch. And now you're going to bring your head and flex your back and bring your head towards your hips. Ready, and go. Again, we'll be doing 15 of these. You're doing great. We're at 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Okay, go ahead and let that roll out a little bit. For our next exercise, we're going to be coming onto our side. So same way as we had come on the ball before, just roll up onto it, but this time on your side. Put your hand down next to the ball and allow your one leg that is not on the mat to rise. Again, we will be doing 15 of these. If you would like to increase the intensity of this exercise, you can always add in an optional flex at the top of your movement, just to get a little bit more of a workout in there. Awesome. Make sure we're breathing. And we are at 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Awesome. Go ahead and switch sides. Roll onto that ball again. Okay, same thing. As you're doing this side, see if you can really focus on keeping your body nice and straight while you're doing this. Again, one of the advantages of using a Fitball is that you're working your core at the same time. Awesome. Keep breathing. And we're at 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Okay. For our next exercise, we're going to come onto our backs. Go ahead and, as we had done before, roll onto the ball. For this next exercise, we're going to bring our arms straight up, and we're going to do a Russian twist just on the ball. So, like this. that counts as 1. Again, we will be doing 15 of these. Ready, set, and go. Since this is a core workout, it's especially important that you are making sure you're breathing through it. A lot of people have a tendency to hold their breath with any sort of core movement, but that can actually make them a lot harder. Okay, you're about halfway there. You're doing great. We're at 5, 4, 3, 2, and last one. Awesome. The next exercise we will be doing is going to be some glute bridges. So for this, you're going to want to be back in that nice kind of flat tabletop position, and you're just going to be dropping your hips down. Just like that, okay? We will be doing 15 of these again. Ready, set, and go. As you're doing these, again, think about the activation of your core as well as your glutes. See if you can really focus on those muscles and activate them. If you would like to add a bit of intensity to this exercise, you can do a bit of a pulse at the top. Awesome. We're at 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Okay, our last exercise on our backs will require the use of some free weights if you would like to use them. We're just going to be doing some bicep curls on the ball. So again, you're going to roll up onto the ball. Go ahead and grab your weights. You want your knees at a bit of a 45-degree angle so that you're still feeling secure in your base of support, and let your upper arms rest on the ball, and just drop your hands and bring them back up, really activating that bicep. Okay, we'll be doing 15 of these. Ready, set, and go. Again, make sure that we're thinking back to if we're breathing or not, and if we're actually activating our core or not. You're doing great. We're about halfway there. Awesome. And we were at 5, 4, 3, 2, and last one. Awesome. Great job. Okay, that'll be the last we'll be using those free weights, so you can completely move them off to the side. We want to make sure, especially with these next moves, we're not running over anything or we're not laying back onto anything. Okay, so for our next move that we're going to be doing, you're going to extend your legs fully out, and you want the ball about on your shins, and then you're going to lay back onto the mat, and then you're going to roll the ball towards your hips. While you're doing this, make sure you have a nice base of support both in your shoulders and in your arms. Okay, ready, set, and go. Since this is a bit of a core workout as well, as you're keeping your core up off the ground, make sure that we're breathing through it. You're doing great. And we're at 5, 4, 3, 2, and last one. Awesome. We're nearing the ending parts of our workout here. So the next move that we're going to do, again, we're going to be on our back. We're going to roll the ball between our legs, and we're going to want to cup it like you're sitting crisscross applesauce. You probably won't get your feet to actually touch each other, but kind of the same idea and same sort of motion. You're then going to roll back onto your elbows, and you're going to squeeze your thighs together. So this should be really working on your hip adductors. Again, we'll be doing 15 of these. Ready, set, and go. If you would like to increase the intensity of this exercise, you can slow down the both flexion and extension of these hip muscles. So slowing down that exercise, again, increasing that intensity. Awesome. You're doing great. And we're at 5, 4, 3, 2, and last one. Okay, great job. For the next exercise we're going to be laying on our back again. It's going to be a reverse bird dog. So if you're familiar with bird dogs, it's the same thing, but you'll be holding the ball and you'll be on your back. So I'll demonstrate before you go ahead and do it. So make sure while you're doing this, you're reaching your leg all the way out and your arm all the way out. Bring them together and then switch. It should be opposite arm, opposite leg. Okay? We'll be doing 15 of these. Ready, set, and go. Since this is more of a full body workout, make sure that we're breathing because we will be activating our core, but also think about your shoulder muscles and your hip muscles that you're activating. You'll be activating flexors, extensors, abductors, abductors. Make sure we're breathing through it. You're doing great. Okay, and we're at 5, 4, 3, 2, and last one. Awesome. Okay, now we'll be on our very last exercise for this actual workout part of this program. This last exercise you can choose to either do with or without the Fitball. A higher intensity will be with the Fitball. I will be opting to do it without the Fitball. So for this next exercise, what you will be doing is you'll lay back on your back and you're going to lift your legs and bring them back down. So really working those hip flexors. Okay? We'll be doing 15 of these. Ready, set, and go. If you would like to increase the intensity of this exercise besides just using the Fitball, you can also do flexion of your legs at the top of this exercise. Because this is working your flexors as well as your abdominal muscles, make sure we're breathing through this. You're doing great. And we're at 5, 4, 3, 2, and last one. Awesome. So that's the actual workout part of this exercise program. The next part that I will be leading you through will be a cool down sequence. I recommend that you grab a drink of water real quick, pause the video, catch your breath a little bit, and then we're going to be going right into that cool down period. Okay? If you're ready, you can go ahead and stay seated if you would like to. For this first exercise, we're just going to bring our arm across our shoulder, really making sure we're loosening up. Wiggle those fingers. Awesome. Go ahead and switch. While you're doing this, try and make sure your shoulders aren't coming apart. Try and bring your shoulder blades together. Okay, go ahead and shake it out from there. Bring it behind the head. Again, throughout this cool down, you can really focus on your breathing. And if it's uncomfortable for you to grab your elbow, you can always grab your hand instead. Okay, shake it out. Go ahead and switch. You're doing great. Okay. Go ahead and shake that out. If you aren't standing already, go ahead and come to a standing position. We're going to go through a really quick warrior pose. So for this, you're going to want one leg out in front of you. There's going to be a slight bend in that leg, and you want another leg out behind you. Make sure you have a good base of support while you're doing this. So a nice bend in that knee. You should be trying to push this back heel down and allow your arms to come out so your hips can open as well as your shoulders. Again, just sit here and breathe for a little bit. Allow your muscles to relax as much as possible. Awesome. Go ahead and bring your arms together and straighten that front leg and send your arms back. You should really be feeling this in your lower back as well as in your calf of that back leg. Okay, go ahead and release that. You'll take your same shoulder that's forward now, and you'll send that arm down into a pyramid pose. Again, opening up that shoulder, opening up that hip. Spend a couple of seconds here to just breathe. Okay, go ahead and come back up to the top. Switch whichever leg is in front. Okay, allow yourself to go back into that warrior pose, bending that knee, sending that back leg's heel back, and opening up those shoulders. Again, you should feel a good stretch in your lower back, as well as your shoulders and your hips. Okay, go ahead and bring your arms together, straighten that front leg, and send your hands behind your head. Okay, go ahead and go back into that pyramid position. You're doing great. We're almost done. Go ahead and release and come back. If you started standing in this exercise, then go ahead and sit back down. And this will be our last stretch. So bring your one of your two legs in, and just reach forward. Again, just allow your muscles to passively stretch and focus on your breathing. See if you can, through your breathing, stretch any further. Okay, and go ahead and switch. Okay, go ahead and come back to a seated position where you're comfortable. Thank you for spending this time with me. I hope you got a good workout in. Bye.